All right. Hi, guys. This is Vinneychopra coming to you live from my backyard. Actually, my family's sleeping upstairs and downstairs. So I thought I'll just try this new concept. As you know, I come live, not live, but through the podcast every week. I have 5 shows now. And then you'll be really excited who we have today. So please hold on, and you can come back to it, and also look in our YouTube channels. Please subscribe, and if you like or comment or share across your friends and everybody. Of course, my Apartment Syndication Made Easy book, 325 positive reviews in just 1 year. Oh my gosh, there we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, this is amazing. And then, of course, my 3rd book is coming out, which is on senior living investing made easy. That's going to be a fabulous one. My 4th book is coming out, which is apartment lending made easy. So there'll be a lot of made easy series coming. And I appreciate everybody who really is, getting together with us and just doing wonderful things together in multifamily, in senior living, in hospitality. I'm looking at a 7 hotel portfolio that will be also bringing on board. Then my startup company is doing quite well with my buddy, which might be $2 billion company. Then, of course, another one, which is a branding company, is doing very, very well for a lot of my friends in USA with the click funnels and with active campaigns and lead generations and all. So thank you for following me. But I've got great, great guests today. Actually, I want to introduce you to Jim Oliver and Harper, right there, Harper Jones. So Jim, I would love to kind of welcome you, brother. How are you? How are you doing?
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And right from Naples, Florida. And, Jim Oliver is the world's foremost authority on the infinite banking. I know I've been thinking about learning more and more about it. I think you're going to really enjoy today's session, the infinite banking concept, and has dedicated his career to breaking the financial shackles. I love that. Shackles that limit and bind people and the businesses to unnecessary taxes. Oh my gosh, don't we want to reduce taxes and interest expenses? So joining him today is Harper Jones, a practitioner and a strategist who works alongside Jim at the CreateTailwind, and they are going to talk about how to become your own banker, and also how to leverage this unique strategy to buy real estate. And let's welcome them to the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with me today, Jim and Harper. Please take it away, kind of share how you got started and the whole concept. I'm going to be taking notes, in my mind, and I'm going to listen back to this whole interview. Yeah.
So absolutely. Well, Vinny, I started right out of school. I got into the financial services business because I was fascinated with money. I grew up very poor in Los Angeles, but as you know, in LA, 3 miles one way or the other, and there are people that are living in luxury, and I was living in poverty, and I didn't understand money, and nobody was there to teach me in my community or my neighborhood. And so I got out of school and I started studying money, and I got in the financial services world, and I did the traditional fee-based financial services, full service, for about 15 years. And we had a little bit shy of $1 billion under management, and so we were doing pretty well. And all of our platforms said that our clients were getting about 9.38%. But when I did their CAGR, their compound annual growth rate, it was about 4%. Now, why? Because they don't tell you the actual rate of return. They tell you the average. They don't tell you after expenses and after fees and everything else. They just kind of give you the gross, right? So I said, there's got to be a better way. And I looked at all of my clients And I said, how did they make their money? And Vinny, it was so clear. It was two things, only two things. One, you already know, real estate. Second one, businesses. Unless they were lucky, they happened to be the janitor at Google or something, right? And you can't count on luck. So you have to count on skill and strategy and education. So I said, okay, I went and said, well, if I'm going to buy real estate, what part of real estate do I want to be in? If I'm going to buy businesses, and then the banking part of it always kind of became this, hey, well, how do you get the financing, right? That's what everybody wants to know. Seller financing, bank financing, everything else. And I met this gentleman at the time. He was about 75 years old. And his name was Nelson Nash. Now, he's the godfather, the inventor of the infinite banking concept. And Nelson was a real estate guy. And in fact, in 1980, the way that he found this concept is he believes it was divine, that he owed about $500,000 back then at 23%. Okay. And he was on his knees in the middle of the night praying that, show me a way out of this. And he had these insurance contracts that his brother had sold him that he could have borrowed the money back then at 8%. So 23 down to 8. And he started to develop this concept. Well, I met Nelson and I was like a sponge. Tell me everything. I asked him every question. I went and saw him in person for a 10-hour seminar. And I'm a little slow, Vinny. So I went 1 week, then 2 weeks later, I went again, and then I went again. And I knew where he was going to sip his coffee. I knew where the jokes were. I knew it all. And he became a great friend and mentor. And he graduated from this world in March of 19. But he was a great mentor. He taught us, the small group of us, how to do this the right way. And he pounded into us the importance of how a bank makes money. And, a bank, somebody goes down and deposits money in a bank. They take, and I ask people, Vinny, when somebody deposits money in a bank, is that an asset or a liability to the bank? It's a liability, but a consumer says, well, that has to be an asset. No, the bank hasn't done anything with it, right? The bank has to put that money in motion. Motion is a law of God, a law of the universe. Is if air doesn't flow through your body, you die. If blood doesn't flow through your body, you die. If water doesn't flow, it becomes stagnant. If your money doesn't flow, it dies. Okay, so the bank loans your money to somebody else. Could be you, by the way, Vinny, right? Yep. They loan your own money to you at a higher interest. The borrower pays the bank interest. So the loan is the asset, okay? And then the bank pays us interest. What they don't realize is that in 2016, Bank of America's average profit on that was 2,600%. 2,600%.
No way. 2,600.
Because let me give you the numbers, okay? Because I'm a numbers guy. I'm a math guy. If this is not my opinion, this is just math. They had $860 billion of interest-bearing deposits. They paid us their interest expense, $1.9 billion, which is about 0.2% of that $860 billion. We paid them $44.9 billion, which is about 5.2%. Now, so if you look at it at that on a $10,000 deposit, that means the bank would pay us $20 for depositing that money in the bank for a year, and they would charge a borrower $520. Now, we've been taught that, well, that's $500 that the bank made more than me, no big deal. But Vinny, that's not how business works. $20 is the cost to them. $520 is the profit. You divide the cost into the profit, goes in there 26 times. Okay, that's what we got to get out of. We got to do that. We want to be the owner of the bank, the depositor, and the borrower. And we can do that. Now, how we do it in real estate is really, really cool, because once you get this money in there, by the way, you never pay tax on it again. It grows tax.
Wow. I like that.
Now, let's say you had whatever number, $1 million of cash value in there. The bank has to give you $1 million loan whenever you want. The insurance company They have to give you $1 million of their money while your money stays in this tax shelter growing, and you get to go use the insurance company's money to go invest in real estate. So now think about that. If you think about this like a ledger, on one side of the ledger, you have your insurance policy growing guaranteed every single day, uninterrupted. And then you get to use the insurance company's money to go invest in real estate, and it's going to cash flow. And where are you going to flow that cash back to before you deploy it again? Back into the insurance contract. So now we're going to create velocity of money, just like banks do, using the same money over and over and over and over again. I know you know that concept just based on the projects that you're talking about. Is you get one project up and going, you use that project for the next project, and you're using the same money over and over again, creating velocity of money. So we do that. And so if you think about from a tax standpoint, all of the money that's in there grows tax-free, is accessible tax-free, okay? And we get to use the insurance company's money. We got to pay them interest only. It's an interest-only loan, which is beautiful. And we get to deduct that, right? Because we're using it for a business purpose. And we're going to go buy real estate that has all kinds of tax advantages that I'm sure your audience already knows about. So 0%. And I can get someday, if I wanted to, I don't believe in the word retirement, by the way. Harper is quite a bit younger than me.
Me too. By the way, I just turned 68 this year. Well, this year, yeah, in August. So I'm looking for next 20, 30 years, hopefully. And I really believe that, Jim, if we stimulate our mind, we are passionate, we are excited, and do our body, the miracle morning, and make sure we are exercising, eating right, we'll live up to, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
68 and Vinny, and as you know, in Naples, that's a young man in Naples. We always kid and say the average age in Naples is deceased, but no. See, that what we are told to do with our money, is wrong, right? We're told to go get a job, invest in a 401k or some kind of program that the government controls, and then hope that we save enough money and we make enough money in the stock market, which we don't control. And then we hope that we can live on that money for the rest of our lives and not run out of money. Hope is not a strategy. I guarantee you, your success did not come from hoping.
No, it didn't. And not luck either. No hope, no luck. It was hard grinding, you have to, right?
Enjoy it. It's action, right? Action is what we have to do. We have to take action. Totally. And with infinite banking and real estate, it's a beautiful marriage. It works perfect together. I mean, there are a lot of people out there. You got to be careful because there's a lot of people out there that are doing infinite banking and they want to show you how to pay off your cars and buy, your vacations and things like that. We want to buy cash flowing assets. Well, what's the number one cash flowing asset that you can buy in this country? And real estate. That's right. And so,
not the primary residence like I bought. That's a liability. 3.5 million liability.
No, I'm sitting in a liability myself, and I just bought a new liability. But you know what? Makes what?
We gotta live, right? Jim. I mean, you gotta live. This life is only one life to live, and we gotta be good with assets, cash flowing assets, and some good luxuries also, so that family really enjoys the labor, and we do too. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's, that part of it is the emotional part of it, right? The logical and math part of it. What we have to do is, one of the things, we're all going to make mistakes, right? I always tell people, when I've used this system to buy real estate, I've bought 16 businesses. And I'm in businesses, Vinny, that I didn't even know what they were 3 years ago. Some of them, when I got into cryptocurrency, I want
to talk to you about that.
Yeah. I have a company that refurbishes TVs and sound bars and electronics, and I have a logistics company. And I got into all of these companies because when I take my money and I put it into a company, well, I get both, right? I get my money doesn't leave my insurance contract, but I get to buy the company. And so what is also happening out there on the internet and YouTube is they want to focus on the insurance contract. Well, we learned to design the contract from the man who developed it, Nelson Nash. And we're not trying to change the name and make it something else. I'm honoring his legacy and saying we're saying he's the founder of this. We are his students, right? But think about this for a second. I'll give the audience a quick example, if you don't mind. I bought this refurbishment business from a much larger company that was worth $100 or $200 million, and it wasn't really in their wheelhouse. This little business that they owned, and so I bought it on an earn-out basis. That was doing about $16 million a year, a quarter of revenue, and I said, okay. You want $3 million for this business. I thought it could be $100 million business, Vinny, and I still believe it will be. And we're on our way. But I said, I'm not going to give you $3 million and write a check because I want to see how this business performs. So we did it on an earn out basis, right? Increase in the revenue. So I only had to pay them $75,000 up front. All right.
Holy cow. Look at that.
Oh, I'm a good negotiator. I bet you are.
Yes, we'll get along really well, Jim.
And so that was August 1st. Well, we had a really good fourth quarter in the electronics business in the holiday season that year, and we made $400,000 that we were going to distribute. Okay, so I distributed $400,000. I paid my $75,000 back to the insurance company. So what did the business cost me? Now people always say $75,000, but no, it was the interest on $75,000 from August 1 to December 31st. That's it.
Yep.
And so also I had a clause in there. If that business was sold, I didn't owe them the $3 million. And guess what? March of the following year, sold.
Oh, wow.
So I literally have nothing in this business that is making seven figures every year.
Awesome.
But I probably wouldn't have I would have had to make the decision. Do I want this money in this account or do I want this business? Mm-hmm. I didn't have to make that decision. I got both. And so when I think about a real estate deal, and Harper and I just earlier this year, we did 21 properties in Tennessee there.
Oh, wow. I love Tennessee, by the way. Nashville, Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee. Have not really bought anything there. I wish I did, by the way. In Nashville, I had on my desk, beautiful multifamily 11 years back. Yeah. 10 years back. I wish I would have grabbed them,
Yeah. We like Tennessee too. It's a great, there's people moving to Tennessee just like Florida and other places.
Yep.
What a great place to live in Tennessee. It's beautiful. Sure. And a good tax environment.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It really is. I remember I think it's called Brentwood right there. And I go way back because I used to sell encyclopedias and Bible books. And that company is based out of Nashville, Tennessee, and they are Southwestern. They started in 1855. The students from universities and colleges will sell to Confederate soldiers these Bible books back then. And that's the oldest company. And I was fortunate enough to really cut my teeth. I'm an engineer, mechanical engineer, but I cut teeth, selling Bible and encyclopedias, being a Hindu from India. I was, 22 years of age and, in my cutoffs and going door to door. That's what Harper did. Harper shared with us, buddy. So you sold some books, I heard, door to door. Tell us more about it. Huh?
Yeah. So I started out, I was like, man, I need to get, better socially and just, put myself out there. So I did a few different door-to-door jobs. And then, as I kept, meeting with people like you guys, mentors and people to invest with, I found that real estate was a great industry to get in, and so many wealthy people owned real estate or did it sometime. I said, I got to get in it and learn it. And through that path, I still do real estate invest, right? and we did that project together. But I also, got introduced to Jim. And as I started practicing, this infinite banking concept myself and developed a good passion for it, others were like, hey, can you help set up policies for me? I'm like, well, I didn't get my license for that. And I just had a big passion to, join in with that small community of the people that, like Jim said, there's a bunch of people who say they do this, right? But there's a real small group who really truly does it. Same with real estate syndication and stuff. There are some people who say they do it, but there's a small group that really does it well. And, you being one of them, right? So that's kind of...
Harper, you really touched some point, which actually I have heard that said many, lately, actually, you're right. A lot of syndicators say, oh, I've got 5,000 units, but they got 4,500 as LP and only 500 as GP, which they really have put their name on the loan and, they're managing and things like that. So I totally see that, because I really know, I know few people in the scope where they are saying they are affiliate of infinite banking or something, I remember. But please share with us in simple terms so that my audience can really get, and I will love to have you come also to my mastermind inner circle group on Wednesday night where I teach, 2 hours every week. That's my best. I love it. And I've got investors who are doing syndications in just 3 months of joining my academy. They are making deals. I mean, it's just very exciting. Dylan is one of my good student. He reached out to me 3 years back or so, 4 years back. He's got $50 million portfolio at the age of 24. So it's exciting. But share with, maybe Jim, you and Harper both, what are the differences then, so that there are some pitfalls, I'm sure, in every business, right? People get sucked into it. Yep. So if you could kind of take us through that journey. Thank you.
Oh, the what you have to do is really kind of get your mindset to understand why you want to be your own banker. Okay. And one of the things that we want to be able to do is just like, is you ever notice, like when you're doing a deal, getting the smaller money is harder than getting the big money. The big money is easier to get, right? It's because the people that have the smaller money, they don't understand yet. They haven't made that mind shift to understand really abundance. So a lot of people out there, when they talk about infinite banking, they're talking about recapturing interest that they would have paid on a car. But then somebody like you or me said, I would just go down and buy the car. I mean, like, I'm not paying interest. And so then they say, well, you have lost opportunity costs on that cash. Well, no, okay, I understand how that works, but I bought this asset over here to buy whatever car that I want. I use, or whatever house or whatever boat or whatever, anything else that I want. I'm not going to work to buy that. And so where's the lost opportunity cost? Well, they because they haven't done it, like Harper said, they focus on, hey, the insurance contract. And some of them try to use insurance contracts that aren't guaranteed. We want guaranteed growth every single day. No chance that this could fail, right? And then they focus on the scarcity mindset of recapturing the interest that you're paying, all of that. Where we're different, and where your audience, I know, is different, because if they're real estate people, they know that what we want is cash flowing assets to have the flow of money to flow back to us.
I love the velocity, what you said, Jim. I mean, you gave a very good example. Water, moving water, air. I thought that was remarkable. And the same thing is with money also. And I believe that thoroughly, because my daughter was telling me, like, our top clients have given us 3.8 million so far. Just one client, one family alone. So, they have big pockets, and they have shared with, their friends and others. So most of my 221 clients are huge net worth people. I've done 35 syndications now, all myself, principal, and maybe a couple of joint partnerships, but just three, my last ones I've done joint. And but no, that's exciting. Please share. So how does it start, right? And what should one look into? How much net worth they need to have, I guess? How much cash do they need, right? How much they need to put per year? Kind of, share with us. Yeah, yeah.
So what you would do is you're going to establish this insurance contract, but it's like the type of insurance contract a banks buy insurance contracts. It's called bank-owned life insurance, BOLI, and corporations buy life insurance. It's called corporate-owned life insurance, or COLI. And these are designed for cash, not for death benefit. So when some insurance salesman comes and talks to you, wants to talk to you about saving your money inside your insurance contract and death benefit, but the emphasis in the design of the policies on death benefit. So what we want to do is design it on cash value. Now, when we the reason that a lot of quote insurance agents don't do that is we're going to reduce the commission down by at least around 60%. Okay, I was going to say at least in half, but around 60%. So they don't want to do that, right? They don't want to reduce their commissions. And the reason we're going to do that is so we can get some higher cash values even in year one, right? A lot of insurance contracts, it takes you a few years before you have any cash value. Well, that's not going to work for the real estate investor or somebody investing in business. So we designed the policy to be efficient early on, but then really create momentum. And here's the thing, Vinny, is these policies get better and better every single year. They build momentum so that when we're older, we have more efficiency, not less, like a Wall Street account or something like that. Same way in your real estate portfolio, right? You're going to have more and more and more. It's the compound effect because you're going to have more and more projects, whatever. And I'm not worried about like when I'm 85, am I going to have more cash flow? I know I'm going to have more cash flow, not less, and so we want that abundance to grow and compound, compounding abundance. So the insurance contract design is important. But then just like in real estate, you need what? A guide. You need a coach. Well, I want to go with the coach that has done it. I want to go, if I'm going to go syndicate a deal, I'm going to somebody who's done 35 of them. And I'd say, you want to partner with me so you can show me how to do this? Right. And so that's where CreateTailwind is different. And here's our whole system. We just show you this and we explain it and we draw it out. Normally, Vinny, like when we do webinars, I have a graphics board right here in front of me and I have a pen and I can draw on here. And not that I'm a great artist, but I can draw boxes and how the money flows and I can explain exactly how it works.
Totally. Yep. Makes sense. Yeah.
And then it's how much to put in there. We have people that are putting millions of dollars a year in their insurance contracts, and we have people that are putting a few $1,000s. Some people just starting out. Mm-hmm. And what we are trying to do is it's your banking system. If you think about it, all of your income or most people's income flows into somebody else's bank account now that they control, the commercial banking account. Well, how much of your money would you want to flow through your own banking account, like that you control? But everybody, it's like real estate. You don't start up here, you start somewhere here and you build, right? Exactly. You just build and build and build. So we want somebody to be comfortable and understand the concept, but we educate people. There's no sale. There's nothing like that. In fact, our business model is so simple. I can give it to you in 30 seconds, right? The client never pays us anything. We have brokerage contracts with the best insurance companies that do these kinds of policies. They pay us. Our clients never pay us $1. Our clients always expand. If they started at $10 million a year, they'll go up. If they started at $10,000 a year, they'll go up. Because if you had a bank, you'd want to have more branches. If you have real estate, you want to have more real estate. And so the third thing is we never ask for referrals, but every one of our clients gives those referrals. We don't ask, but it's and that's our business model.
Yeah, they see the benefit then. I mean, why people share great things with other people, right? Is because they are sold on it and they see the effect of it, and they see, man, if I can do this, my friend, my brother, my sister, all of them can, do it. That's awesome. So let me kind of, let's see. So for example, you said like maybe 10,000 a year. You said that number. You also said 10 million. So what's the least somebody could put in? Just for example, my students, they are starting out, right? For example, and there are a lot of other high net worth people I know who have ton of money, and we could kind of introduce to them too. So what's the minimum and how does it work? Yeah.
The minimum is probably a few $1,000s a year. I mean, it depends on how old they are. Honestly, somebody, like Harper could probably put $3,000 or $4,000 a year in. For me at 55, $3,000 or $4,000 isn't going to do much. And he's got plenty of time. They could build it. I'm trying to do it as quickly as possible because I don't know when the insurance company is going to say, Jim, we don't want any more policies on you. So, they tell me I'm too short for my weight, but I mean, I think I'm preferred that, so, so that's the thing is how much money flows through your banking account now. What banks want is they want control, liquidity, and use of your money. All we're doing is taking that back. So how much control, how much liquidity, and how much use do you want? If you're just starting out, do whatever you can do. If you're established, well, then get to understand this, get to understand all of the benefits to somebody who has a lot of money. What are the threats to that money? And one of them is taxation. And
so how does the taxation then work? So you are actually taking the interest, like you said, right, into your corporation, or just like a mortgage, I guess that's the interest there, and then you are paying the principal back into your own bank. So that's that's the only taxation benefit, or are there some others?
All of the money that you put into this bank, and remember, it never leaves that account. It never leaves that insurance contract because it is an insurance contract and it predates federal income tax. It's protected. And so in fact, Vinny, if the money if you had millions and millions of dollars inside your insurance contract and that was all the money you had, you don't have to file a tax return, whatever money that you take out of it. And what you would do is it becomes so efficient that you would withdraw at a basis, so no tax, and then you would borrow after that, and the policy is growing faster than the money that you would distribute. Okay, loan and the interest, so you don't pay tax on that. At the time of your death, the and out of the death benefit.
Sure, I'm just looking at this son.
Oh yeah.
Hey, depending on
there we go. That's better. I know everybody's thinking, boy, what is Vinny doing? I'm just trying to get away from the sun. Sometimes I want sun, sometimes I don't. Sure. So what can, I know it's, let's see here. I know I want to be cognizant of your time, 8:37, so what would you say to somebody like my followers and all, what are maybe 3 or 4 things they should do to get into infinite banking, and maybe add some more flavor to it so that it makes them to take action?
Harper, what do you think?
Yeah, well, typically what we do if someone's interest is piqued, we always will send them a copy of Becoming Your Own Banker's 92-page book that Nelson Nash had written decades ago. That's kind of a great framework foundation. People will have some questions off that. Then what we'll do is just have them come on a Zoom call and we'll do a presentation. So there's a bunch of graphics and details, and we'll gear towards where their questions are and what they want to learn more about it and what they would want to use their policy for, and just kind of take it step by step. And we have tons of resources to give to people once they kind of start working their way up the ladder of the
I
education.
love it. I love it. Let's do a webinar together, guys. Let's do it. So what we'll do is I'll tell John to design a flyer, and then we can do a certain date, which is good for both of you, and then let's get 100 to 200 people on that webinar. I think that'll be exciting. I have been thinking about this for some time, and I think this might be the right time for us to spread the good word. And I really like what you're saying about the pitfalls and how it should be handled. And you have experience and everything that really means a lot. And so no, that'll be tremendous. Maybe what we could do is let's see if John can bring you into mastermind inner circle, and then right after that, even before that, we could even set up a time in November to do some advertising, during our circle here all the way and yours. And then we could have a 1 hour session and question answers. Huh? Would that be good? Yeah.
Right. Hey, one thing too, Vinny, is there's a few specific things about this concept I want to show you.
Please.
Just for you. So maybe I'll share.
Go ahead and share. You want to share right now? I don't know, because this is going to be in YouTube and audio and everywhere, and we'd love to bring you also back. I just thought about it. We have a show, which I do, Vinny and Bo show on Fridays. Actually, right now, I do it at 9:30 a.m. Pacific every week. And then it's, I think it's StreamYard, 7 channels. So it's live show that goes out in LinkedIn, in Facebook pages, all over and it's, etched in stone, right? It's stays there. Then it goes into a podcast also, because I've got 5 podcasts now weekly. So no, it'll be exciting. I like that abundance attitude, Jim, what you said, and that's how it's all about. Scarcity will get you very few things. Abundance will really open your mind, and then it can really take you to a place that you didn't think it was possible, right? My second book, Positivity Brings Profitability, I think I really owe a lot to my positive attitude. Oh my God. So that way. No, I'm very excited. Thank you so much for sharing. And any last comments you'd like to say to the audience as we buckle up on this one? Huh?
I would say that somebody's going to be the banker in your life.
Yeah.
It might as well be you, because banking is the most profitable business in the world. And so if somebody's going to make money from you, it should be you making money from you and your efforts. But it's a participatory sport, Vinny, just like real estate. You got to read great books like this to learn how to do real estate and have the right attitude, right? And then learn from people like Vinny. Well, with infinite banking, it's the same way. It's going to take effort, but it's worth it. And we always want to take control of our lives, because just like you said, Vinny, we only get to go one time around.
That's it. This is the only time. And, I say that, Jim, if we look at our whole time span, if you put dinosaur years and all, we are not even a dot. 100 years won't even show up on that timeline. So let's make the very best of every day. Our life, we came here for a big purpose. And, with the grace of God, we have all the things we can learn if we don't know, and then, utilize them to the fullest, so that when we leave a legacy. That's the key thing about it, and to really be positive, and of course, add value to everybody, because that's what it's all about. No, I'm so pleased that you joined me this morning, and I'm very excited about it. I hope our audience will too, and let's move on the plans to move our movement ahead. So I'm very, very excited about it. Thank you so much for being with me today. And so how can people reach you? That's if they want to go to your website or kind of get to know that way too. Sure. Yeah.
Go ahead, Harper.
Yeah. So we got createtailwind.com. And then my email is Harper, HARPER, at createtailwind.com.
Yes.
So that's the best way. Shoot an email. I typically get back within 24 hours, and I'll probably just call you up, get to know you, and then we'll kind of, go from there. I know that some of this was more surface level, but we do that intentionally because there's a lot of details that we'll dive into, but we just want to take it one step at a time. So maybe when we do that presentation or webinar, that's when we dive into some more of the details for people.
For sure, Harper and Jim, no problem. Hey guys, if you like the content, please share. Please also give comments and also give that positive reviews, the 5-star reviews, because in iTunes, as you know, we get higher and higher rankings. And I just, we just started this show about maybe 9 months back or something like that. And now we are getting bigger and bigger reviews and many, many thousands of downloads. So please do that. Please share this episode also with other people that you might have in your community, in your friend circle, so that they can benefit also. Again, thank you so much. This is Vinneychopra, live from the Black Hawk, California, right here in San Francisco, coming to you. And again, be sure to chime in 9:30 a.m., my Vinny and Bo show, which is on loans and lending. Oh my God, we just talked about infinite banking right here. And then also taking your business to the next level. My show yesterday, which was Thursday, actually I'm recording this on Friday, that was on the Innovative Senior Living Investing show, which is getting raving reviews. My third book is coming out very soon, which is on, investing in senior living made easy. And then, of course, the lending made easy for apartments. Fourth book is coming out soon. And again, thank you for following me. And if you would like to talk to me, just go ahead and text to 925-766-3518. Text to 925-766-3518. Go to my website, vinneychopra.com, vinneychopra, chopra.com, or moneilinvest.com. And my third website, which is in seniorlivinginvesting.co. So we are going to be, right along with you if you want to passively invest or actively invest in all the different businesses, different acquisitions and things like that. Thank you so much for following. Have a great day. Make it happen. Move the needle. That's what it's all about. See you next week.
Be sure to listen to Mr. Smiles next week with more golden nuggets and top-notch coaching tips. You can reach him by going to vinneychopra.com. Be sure to like, comment, and share to show everyone how Mr. Smiles has brought your apartment syndication business to the next level.